Welcome, everybody. Everybody, we're here for a very important event this evening. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Everybody, before we go into this celebration, I've got to reflect on something very important and a statement I just put out. And I want you to hear this, and then we're going to go into the celebration that we're all here for. But I really want you to hear this now. So everyone, bear with me for a moment, okay? A few hours ago, Shirlane and I met with Eric Garner's mother, Gwen Carr. And for part of the meeting, his daughter, Emerald, joined us. His wife, Esau, by phone. Reverend Sharpton joined us and helped put together the meeting. And I want to just reflect on this at this very challenging moment for our city and for our nation. The pain that this family is feeling is overwhelming right now. And they miss Eric constantly. Gwen Carr talked about the memories that she clings to, the joyous memories of her son, but she also talked about how those memories are so often interrupted by such a deep sense of loss and such a real sense of injustice. And for this family, for them, no part of this justice process has been in any way comforting. It has not brought them closure. It has not brought them any satisfaction at all. They feel that door after door has been closed in their face. And I heard earlier today that there was going to be a protest outside Gracie Mansion, and I wanted the family to know that we believe in protest, but I wanted them to know they were welcome inside Gracie Mansion to be able to bring their feelings forward. And I wanted them to hear directly from me what the next steps would be in the city disciplinary process. And they are feeling so much anger and they are feeling so much pain, but I wanted them to know that they are seen and they are heard, and we wanted to feel that with them. And Shirlane and I listened, and every question, every comment was filled with anguish, and it was filled with distrust. And we understand why. And what I tried to do was explain the exact steps that would happen next that will lead to a final resolution of the NYPD process next month. And I made very clear to them that that process, regardless of anything else that they have experienced, that process will be fair and will be impartial. And I want to just finish with this before we go on to the gathering here. And I want to say this as mayor, but I also have to say this as a human being and as a father, and say it very plainly. We all watched Eric Garner's dying words, and they haunted this city, and they haunted this nation. And he should never have died. It's as simple as that. He should never have died. And we cannot ever let it happen again. That's on all of us. We cannot ever let it happen again. Every day we need to act in Eric's name to end the history that has held us back. It's been our mission here for the last 5 years. We ended a broken policy of stop and frisk, which created endless tension and frustration and kept police and community from working together. We've retrained our entire police force to de-escalate conflict, to de-escalate situations just like the one that we remember with such pain. We have taught our officers to address the implicit bias that we all experience as human beings, to weed it out. And we've instituted neighborhood policing, which is an entirely new approach to policing, and it emphasizes building lasting bonds between community members and the police who serve them. All of this is just a beginning. And this mission cannot end until every New Yorker and every American feels that their life is valued fully and equally, and no one ever dies because of the color of their skin. That is our purpose. So let's now turn to something that will give us a feeling of affirmation and hope, something that will remind us of what we can do collectively and how we can build something better together, and that is Harlem Week, is it not? I welcome everyone to Gracie Mansion. I welcome you to the People's House. This is your house. And we celebrate Harlem Week, which is one of the most amazing things that happens in New York City every year. But I have to be a speaker of truth. It is not a week anymore. Harlem Week has not been a week for a long, long time. It is Harlem Month. And soon it will be Harlem Year. And then one Harlem Year will go to the next Harlem Year, and it will be Harlem Decade. We are celebrating one of the greatest neighborhoods, not only in New York City, but on planet Earth. One of the greatest centers of culture anywhere. One of the greatest artistic wellsprings in human history. And a place where social justice and activism have always lived, have always taken heart. This is a neighborhood that nurtured people who came from there and people who came to there, but either way, it made them greater. It made James Baldwin greater, didn't it? Harlem enriched the greatness of James Baldwin. Harlem gave Malcolm X a platform for change. Harlem nurtured Tito Puente. Harlem welcomed Duke Ellington. So many people that we honor. Touched by Harlem, nurtured by Harlem, made great by Harlem. Harlem has influenced every corner of America and made us greater. Now, we have a lot of people here tonight, right out there, and a lot of people behind me. I first want to say to everyone here, thank you for all you do for Harlem. Thank you for all you do for New York City. Thank you for making us a richer and more wonderful community. I want you to look around the room at everyone who contributes. And I want you to do me a favor, give your neighbor a round of applause. And now I'm going to ask you to honor some wonderful public servants who are here. I'm going to run through the list, and you can do a big rolling applause for them. I want to start by thanking our Deputy Mayor, Phil Thompson. Our first Deputy Police Commissioner, Ben Tucker. Small Business Services Commissioner, Greg Bishop. Community Affairs Commissioner, Marco Carrion. Executive Director for Special Events, who helped make this possible, Melissa Brown. The Executive Director of the Gracie Mansion Conservancy, who also helped make this possible, Paul Gunther. Director of our Office of Sustainability, Mark Chambers. Director of our Office for MWBEs, Minority and Women-Owned Businesses, Janelle Doris. The Chair of the City Plan Commission, Marissa Lago. A daughter of Harlem, Deputy Director for External Affairs, Stacy Lynch. And someone very, very special for the last 6 years has served this city with extraordinary distinction. And I'm saying nice things about it. Is Zach here? I haven't bothered to check. Is Zach here? There he is. Okay, I'm going to say, I hate to give a long, wonderful speech and then the person's not here. for the last 6 years, has served this city with extraordinary distinction, served our nation and our state as well. And there are many reasons to thank him and many reasons to praise him, including that he was the man who negotiated an end to the federal case in stop and frisk and help us move beyond stop and frisk. And he was the man who negotiated the settlement to finally give the respect to the Central Park Five that they deserve for so long. So give your love and appreciation to our Corporation Counsel, Zach Carter. After many great years in public service, he is retiring, but his imprint will be felt for a long, long time. Give it up one more time. Real quick, a few more wonderful people here. I want to thank Congress member Adriano Espaillat, Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer, Harlem's own Senator Brian Benjamin, Harlem's own Assemblymember Inez Dickens. He's not Harlem's own, but he shows up for everyone's occasion, Assemblymember David Weprin. And he represents us here at Gracie Councilmember Ben Kalos. And three more very special guests, the first of whom Shirlane and I give all credit for so much good in this city, for the fact that we met and got married, and for the birth of our children, and that's a pretty good deal to give someone credit for. Our mayor, who did so much for this city, and also a proud son of Harlem, Mayor David Dinkins. Right there. You can cheer louder than that. There's a lot of proud sons and daughters of Harlem. Another former Governor David Patterson is here tonight. And one more very special guest. He works, usually it's hard to get applause if you work for the MTA. But this man has moved mountains and done more to create economic equality and justice than almost anyone. The Chief Diversity Officer of the MTA, Michael Garner. Let's thank him. I'm going to be very brief. Just got a few more things to say, and then I get to bring up my better half. But I want to say one more thing about Harlem. Wherever people have come from to Harlem, people have come up from the South, they've come from the Caribbean, they've come from all corners of the globe to Harlem. And when people came to Harlem, they felt the magic, and they built upon that magic, and it didn't matter what adversity they faced, because many, many generations of people in Harlem faced adversity. It did not stop them. People faced discrimination. It did not stop them. They faced poverty. It did not stop them. They faced structural racism. It did not stop them. It should not have been, but it did not stop them. Harlem became an idea and a dream and a vision because everyone fought so hard together. And when it comes to change, Harlem has been in the vanguards, whether it's civil rights or women's rights or LGBT rights or immigrants' rights. Harlem has been in the vanguard time and time again. So if you want to think about what we aspire to be as a city, as a nation, and how we put the problems of our past behind and build something better, then all you got to do is visit Harlem, right? A few quick words in Spanish. Come on, everybody. You can do it. Everyone follow along in your books. La Semana de Harlem es un momento para celebrar a uno de los vecindarios más reconocidos de nuestra ciudad. Harlem es un centro global del arte, la cultura y la justicia social. Hoy debemos recordar que comunidades diversas y progresistas como Harlem son las que hacen grande a nuestra nación. You understood every word, didn't you? Now, my great pleasure, she cannot claim to be a proud daughter of Harlem, but Harlem is in her heart. And she exemplifies those values that made Harlem great because she does not accept the stigmas or the taboos or the things that have held us back from her youth. She believed we could make a change, and she makes it every day as our First Lady. My honor to present to you Shirlane McCray.
Good evening, everyone. Y gracias, Bill. I'm so happy to see you all here to celebrate Harlem Week, but I have to confess that I don't really feel much like celebrating. How could I? After sitting with Gwen Carr and her family and hearing how these last couple of days have unfolded for her and her family, you know, I cried with disbelief when I heard the DOJ decision, but the Garner family's tears could fill a river. Am I right? Yeah. Gwen Carr and the Garner family have endured 5 years of waiting for justice, yearning for closure, with pain sandwiched between anger and frustration on top of more pain. Eric Garner's death is a tragedy that no one should ever have to live through. But too many black mothers and their families in this country have experienced a similar grief and navigate their lives with an inescapable worry for the lives of their young people. And tonight, as the protest goes on, we come together as a community that knows a thing or two about how to keep going in the midst of a struggle, don't we? That's right. Harlem has long been a stronghold of black resistance to injustice and oppression and a beacon of black excellence. Harlem is where my great-grandmother Louisa Paris Edwards chose to live out the third act of her life. After moving from Barbados and raising her family in New Hampshire, she made the pilgrimage to 125th Street, and she never left. This is Harlem's where she lived and she died. My great-grandmother joined Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement, invested in the Black Star Line and the Universal Negro Improvement Association construction loans, and by doing so, she birthed and passed on a strong connection to a movement and activism. The poetry and storytelling of Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, Jean Toomer reached all the way into my small town in Massachusetts and helped me learn to speak out with my own voice. You see, Harlem's reach has always extended far beyond its borders. Even for those of us who don't live there, Harlem feels like home. And part of Harlem's legacy is the reminder that we all must keep pushing forward in the face of setbacks. We must take pride in our community in times of joy and in times of hardship. Because of all of you, the history and the traditions of Harlem are more vibrant than ever. And I thank you. I thank you for that. And now I'd like to welcome back my partner in all things to honor a group of leaders who make Harlem proud. Come on back up here, Bill.
Are you ready to honor some of the great leaders of Harlem? I can't hear you. We are going to honor an institution that helped to make this community the legendary place it is. For 123 years, the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce has been an extraordinary force for good. And I want to call up, and I better hear thunderous applause here. First, the CEO of the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, Lloyd Williams. And two of the founding members of Harlem Week, Stephanie Francis and Tony Rogers. I am not going to organize this crowd when I need thunderous applause. Let's hear thunderous applause. There we go. Now we have a proclamation because we're going to mark this day. Thank you. Lloyd, come on over.
I'm here, Steph.
All right, you going to be on this side? Okay. Come around. Hold it up. Yep. Other side? Okay, come on over.
Follow directions.
Follow directions.
Of course we can.
All right, all right. Doing good? Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, wait, I gotta tell them what it says.
Okay.
Hold on, now, we got this proclamation. Hold on. Hold it up, you come on up 1 second again. So this proclamation, I'm not gonna read it to you, but I'm gonna tell you about the last line, because it's very important. It says, I, Bill de Blasio, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby proclaim Thursday, July 18th, 2019, in the City of New York as, now this is the strangest day you've ever heard in your life. Are you ready? They want to call it Harlem League 2019, Harlem's Local History Makes a Global Impact Day. Have you ever heard a day named like that before? We really need to make this simpler. So I'm just going to call it Harlem Week Day, which sounds weird also. But this is basically, we're honoring Harlem Week. Congratulations. Lloyd Williams. Gonna give you a little height? You want some extra?
I'm fine.
You good?
Hey everybody, how you all doing? Okay. Thank God. God held up the rain for a moment, but whatever God says, whatever God does is on time all the time. So whatever it was, we'd be here. Let me quickly say a few things. My mayor and my very good friend, Bill de Blasio, I want to say this because, you know, this is not a political time. I want to say I am glad in the presidential primaries we have one person who is speaking for the city and the urban agenda. And I want you to understand that there is no one amongst all of the candidates who is speaking for the city agenda and the urban agenda other than our mayor. So we better encourage him to continue to speak for the city agenda and the urban agenda. Give him a hand for that. Moving on, Mayor de Blasio acknowledged what's happening with community policing. I want to acknowledge that community policing began under the leadership of the 106th mayor of the city of New York, who happens to just last week celebrated his 92nd birthday, the Honorable David N. Dinkins. celebrating his 92nd birthday.
I want to stop you a minute, man.
Yeah.
I can't see into the middle of the crowd. Is Mayor Dinkins still there? Okay, everybody, let's take a moment. Mr. Mayor, I can see you now. I'm going to ask your indulgence. We have a good crowd here. Everybody ready? I want you to sing, and let's celebrate him. Happy birthday to Mayor Dinkins. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Couple of other very quick, brief announcements. We are honored to have with us the traditional ruler of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Queen Diembe is with us. She has come to address the United Nations, and she felt that she wanted to join you as we celebrate Harlem Week. So a true queen of Africa, Queen Diembe, is with you. And let me then move, if you don't mind, so we can address this. And the mayor is going to have to go very shortly. So let me just say this. The mayor and the first lady reference the Garner family and reference the demonstrations. We were asked repeatedly this evening about our feeling about the demonstration interfering with the Harlem Week festivities. Let me say officially and firmly, on behalf of Harlem Week, Inc., and the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, our position is totally in support of the demonstration and the protests coming out of the horrific versions of injustice for the Garner family. So to the media who's asked our position, we totally support the demonstration, and we are going to be online demonstrating with them. That is your official answer from Harlem Week and the Chamber. And I also want to say that our first Vice President, Vosa Rivers, and I are proud lifetime members of the National Action Network and firm supporters of Reverend Al Sharpton. We need to say a couple of things and then move on. If you don't mind, our mayor and our first lady really need to depart so they can finish this work that they're doing on this injustice. So if you don't mind, could we allow them to exit? We have 2 other things we need to do, so I need you to stick with us for a few moments. But Mayor, okay, let me just move the rest of the program. Hey, everyone, do me a favor. There's a young man sitting on the near the head of his father, right there. That's my grandson. Okay, and his name is Lennox Ali Williams. Lennox Ali. Hey, hey. Okay. Without further ado, let me move the agenda, and I'm asking for our representatives from Memphis to please come to the forefront, along with Antoine Lewis. You guys can stay. You gonna leave me, Stephanie? No. Tony, you gonna leave me? Okay. Let us move forward, please. We need presentations. Voza, somebody give us awards. Hold on. Congressman Espiat, I need you. Borough President Brewer, I need you. Inez Dickens, I need you. Okay, she had to leave. Okay? Huh? And Governor Patterson, I need you. Huh? He had to leave. Mike Garner, real quick. Two things that I want you to know. Mike Garner is going to join us in a presentation, okay, along with our Congressman Espiat and our Borough President Gail Brewer to the city of Memphis. Mike Garner, everybody, 1 second. Mike Garner, representing MTA, who you gave a big round of applause to. Are you aware that he's a member of the Eric Garner family? So that is his cousin who was murdered, and I want you to acknowledge through Mike Garner, the Garner family. Michael?
Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks on behalf of the Garner family. I want to thank all of you for your steadfast support during the last 5 years, and there has not been a more strident supporter, none other than Lloyd Williams. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
So we're going to make this presentation to you, Mr. Bendelli. Representing Memphis, Mr. Bendelli will receive it. Could you also give a hand to Antoine Lewis from Fox 5? Not Fox, Fox 5, who has helped us with the program. You guys with the delegation? Go around. I just want them to take a photo with the rest of them. Could you guys slide that way a little bit so they get everyone?
I'm on your side.
Both of you're coming with Senator Benjamin. Okay, thank you. We have one more we have one more presentation. So let's go to the next one, okay? With the Memphis delegation stay. With Antoine Lewis join us. Okay, Memphis delegation, please stay. Okay? Memphis up front, Memphis up front. And the other presentation is coming from, on behalf of Harlem, from our fabulous State Senator Brian Benjamin. I'm glad that Congressman Espiat and Borough President Brewer has joined.
All right. All right. This weekend. You good this weekend?
I'll make it happen. Okay, Senator Benjamin, do you want to say a few words? Please.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Mayor, he made a proclamation and provided to Harlem Week, but as Harlem, we wanted to make a proclamation and provide it to Memphis, celebrating their 200th year as a city. 200 years as a city from Memphis. Give them a round of applause. The home of blues, rock and roll, soul, all the things. A lot of great music and culture came right from Memphis, and so we wanted to celebrate them today. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for bringing us here, and we wanted to also name today, July 18th, a new Century of Soul Appreciation Day in the village of Harlem, acknowledging the relationship between Memphis and Harlem and what we're going to be doing for the next 100 years. So thank you very much. Enjoy your night. Enjoy being a member from Harlem. If you're not from Harlem and you want to be from Harlem, that's fine too. We will welcome you. We love all of you, and thank you again, Lloyd Williams.
We have an official representative from Memphis. We will be celebrating Memphis from the week of the 12th of August through the 18th. When you're leaving, they will give you a program with information on that. But I would like to ask their official spokesperson, Mr. Bendelli, if he would be kind enough to say a few words on behalf of Memphis. And I particularly want to thank David French from the Memphis delegation, because David has done a tremendous job. It's been an honor and a pleasure to work with him. Mr. Bendelli.
Thank you. Hey there, Harlem. Oh, come on now, give me some love. I'm visiting. Hey, Harlem, how y'all doing? I gotta put my glasses on. Well, first off, thank you so much, Mr. Rivers, Ms. Ricketts, and Mr. Williams, and the entire Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce for this incredible honor and your partnership. Also, thank you, Senator Brian Benjamin, for the support and acknowledgement of New York. Finally, a special thanks to Mayor de Blasio and First Lady Shirlane McCray for hosting us at such a fabulous event. As chairman of the Memphis Brand Initiative and founder of Hattie Lou Theater, I am incredibly proud to be here on behalf of the city of Memphis and to represent this outstanding delegation. In many ways, tonight is a homecoming for me. As a former New Yorker, born and raised in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, and now a proud Memphian, this partnership is a powerful demonstration of two extraordinary and iconic communities coming together to create positive change. In Memphis, we like to call that soul, that spirit to find a rhythm that is all your own, to give more than you take, and to change the world around you. The people around me exemplify that Memphis soul. Let me thank and acknowledge Kelly Schultz, representing St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Their work over the last 50 years has helped the overall survival rate of childhood cancers rise from 20% to 80%. Let's give. And Alex Castle of Old Dominic Distillery, the first female master distiller in the state of Tennessee. You all are experiencing her work tonight thanks to their intoxicating Bring Your Soul cocktail. Give it up for Alex. And finally, Talibas Safia, a rising star amid Memphis's most compelling young musical voices, whose sound has captured national attention from NPR to Billboard. Can we please give it up for this beautiful songstress? I'd also like to acknowledge other Memphis family here tonight, including Brandeis Daniels of Harlem Fashion Row and John Stage of Dinosaur Barbecue. That's just to name a few. As you now know, Memphis is celebrating our bicentennial. And as we do, we stand at the horizon of a new century. We like to call it a new century of soul. And we cannot think of a better partner than our sister community of Harlem to share this historic moment with. Together, we believe this new century is an invitation to people locally and globally to join us as we honor our past and embrace a powerful future. Because Memphis and Harlem have not only changed their cities throughout history, they have changed the world. Now together, some of us might say we are just getting started. So tonight, I'd like to challenge all of us. How will you bring your soul and create change? I am excited to see all that we can accomplish together. Again, a heartfelt thanks from all of us in Memphis. I hope you will visit us tonight and in many weeks and months ahead. We are proud to call you our sister city of soul. Thank you.
Some pictures. Okay. So we tried to explain to our sisters and brothers from Memphis the difficulty we would have in communicating to this audience with all of the distractions. Let me add to that, we have been informed by the mayor's office that in spite of the clouds not giving us all of the sun in the world, this is the largest event ever held in the history of Gracie Mansion. The largest event. In excess of 1,500 persons are here today. So Memphis now better understands. When we were trying to explain it to David French, he was trying to figure out what we were talking about. Now he understands the battle of this, but we truly respect your attention. So we close on this note, perhaps the most important note that we have, and that each year, Harlem Week gives out scholarships. We give out well over 100 scholarships and internships to deserving students who are in college or entering college. And on today, we have asked NYC and Company, one of our major partners in Harlem Week, to present one of their scholarships. So as you work with us, let's try to at least make sure we acknowledge this young queen who is going to be a recipient of a scholarship in which your encouragement is going on to do magnificent things. So I asked Kelly Curtin to join with me. I asked Joyce Pierce, one of our Harlem Week board members, to join with me, one of our newer board members. I asked one of our senior officers, Barbara Burwell, to join with me. And I also bring to the forefront this quiet little lady who is the recipient of today's scholarship presentation, Miss Tiana Adams. So let me turn this over, please, to Kelly Curtin.
Thank you so much, Lloyd. Can I have everyone's attention? Because I have an important introduction to make. Shh. Shh. Thank you. NYC and Company is honored to support the Harlem Week Scholarship every year, and we're especially grateful to introduce you to the beautiful, talented, and poised Tiana Adams, who's a recipient of one of tonight's scholarships. I had the pleasure of meeting her mom and dad, Jacqueline and Douglas, who I want to congratulate on having such an amazing daughter. Tiana is a sophomore at Scranton University, studying psychology and criminal justice, and has interned for Harlem Week for 5 years. She's amazing, and we want to bring her up. Barbara and I, Barbara, the treasurer of Harlem Week.
Hi, I'm Tiana Adams. I'm studying psychology and criminal justice, and I'd like to thank NYC and Company and Harlem Week for this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, give Tiana some encouragement. Give her some encouragement. We thank NYC and Company and their Vice President, Kelly Curtin. We thank Barbara Burwell to my left, our Treasurer and Fiscal Officer. We thank our newer board member, Joyce Pierce, for joining. And I will ask Antoine Lewis from Fox 5 to give us a closeout.
He would call me up right when I put an Altoid in my mouth, so I assure you I have not been drinking if I sound a little slurred. But first of all, on behalf of the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, we want to thank you so much for coming out tonight. We know it's a Thursday. Everyone's in Friday weekend mode, but you came out to support us because we are here for the community. We're here for Harlem, for New York, and anywhere else in the country, Memphis, that needs us. You know you can count on us. That said, we want you to get home safe. We want you to continue to police yourselves. Go to our website where you can find a list of all the events that are going to be taking place for Harlem Month. And so on behalf of everybody at the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, where's the little thing? I got to stand up, right? On behalf of all of us, we wish you well. We love you so much. We'll see you again. And again, go Harlem Week 2019. And the thing on there.
And don't forget to, before you leave, get a taste of Harlem with all of the restaurants, and get a taste of Memphis with all the restaurants, and get beverages from Memphis and beverages from Harlem, and enjoy yourself. Thank you all for coming out. Much love to you all. Appreciate you.